All right. Hello, everybody. It's been a while, as I feel like I say every time we do this. We're back on the Earth's Mightiest Comics channel, where we do all sorts of stuff, except not really, because it's been like 6 months since I've uploaded a video. That's fine, though. So today we are going to be talking about we're going to be doing some retrospective stuff. You know, looking back on the year, the shit show dumpster fire of a year that just proceeded. Um, yeah, so we're going to be talking about some of the movies, particularly for me it's top three. For Sebastian, it's top four worst, and top 10 best. So yeah, I don't really know how we're going to do this. I just want to start with the worst first, going from the bottom to the most worst, the least worst to the most worst. I would say that we trade off, but since you have more than me, maybe you should just do all of yours right now, and then I'll just follow with all of
mine. I could. My fourth one could just be a dishonorable mention. Like it doesn't.
I mean, if you want to throw that in right now, then sure.
All right. So my dishonorable mention, is Mortal Kombat actually. So the reason it's I didn't think it was it definitely warranted being a bad like top three worst that I've seen this year. But that beginning 10-minute scene of Scorpion versus Sub-Zero when they were both still alive was amazing. The core, like everything, the fight scene and everything was amazing, and it really went downhill after that. It was just not a good movie.
I should mention off the bat, not that I don't think anyone would care with Mortal Kombat, but there's going to be spoilers for everything. So yes. I will try to provide time codes in the description of like when we cover each number. But if we mention a movie and you haven't seen it and you want to see it, particularly one that's about a month old now, do not watch that section. Go out, watch the movie, and then come on back. I can throw in a dishonorable mention though as well. I know this is actually on your worst list, I think. But I would say F9.
All right. Yep.
I don't think this is the worst movie ever. I don't even think it's the worst Fast and Furious movie.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude. Like Too Fast, Too Furious, and Tokyo Drift is easily my least favorite.
All right.
I think it's better than 2, 3, and 4, and probably also 1. I think it's worse than all of the newer generation of Fast and Furious movies. I don't know. I think this movie was kind of ruined a lot by the trailers because like all of the cool stuff that happens that they do with cars is in the trailers, like the jet and the Tarzan swinging car. But I do kind of like how they go to space, I guess. I think it's kind of fun that they just embraced it, but at the same time, it's not very good. After watching it at the theater, actually, I quite like this one. I would have given it like a 7, but now I'm probably like a 5 or something out of 10.
All right.
So now the list begins in earnest.
Yes. So I'll go for. So we're going least worst, and then until we're getting progressively worse. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so for me, it's for my number 3 spot for worst is actually F9.
Okay.
I think it's actually the worst for me out of all the Fast and Furious. I think it's worse than Tokyo Drift, and Tokyo Drift when I first saw it wasn't. For my problem with Tokyo Drift, just quick thing is just the main actor. I hated him, but
I hate him.
For me, the driving and stuff was still the same as the original Fast and Furious.
I think Tokyo Drift is just so boring, and like Han is cool, but then he dies, and you're like,
yeah.
And there are lots of like weird Hulk references because Universal owns the license to Hulk.
No, but yeah. So for me, it was definitely the worst. Just between like Roman going on speculating about them being like immortal and like not being able to die or whatever. It's like a mysterious force, and like Dom completely like diving after like a tower collapses. Like 12, like I don't even know how many stories. It's just water all of a sudden.
About.
Dude, when they were all in their weird like nuclear bunker hideout thing, and Dom's brother found them. And they all like ran into like this weird silo area, and he locked the door after everybody else left, and he was fending them off so nobody could get to them. and then the whole thing collapsed, and he just plunged into water, and they just pulled him out, and he was fine. Like, I'm sorry, but like, it's cool that you've met up with your brother, John Cena. We finally figured out how like Dom almost killed a dude with like a socket wrench, even though it really didn't look that bloody compared to some of the other things he's fucking done. But
well,
whatever.
Of course not. It's a PG-13 movie.
Some of the other like F7 or something, he like fricked up Jason Statham and stuff like that. I don't know. But whatever, I won't say anything. And it's
actually called Furious 7, not F7.
I'm just saying F7 because it's for the sake of.
You gotta follow the naming convention. That makes
whatever, dude. It's so confusing because there's like so many like Fast and Furious, the first one, and then like the fourth one have like the same name. I swear.
One is The Fast and the Furious. 2 is Too Fast, Too Furious. 3 is Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. 4 is just Fast and Furious. Then you have Fast 5, Fast and Furious 6. Furious 7, The Fate of the Furious, just completely ignoring everything else, and then and then F9, I think it's called F9, The Fast Saga.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So dumb. And then I like how they included the meme of them like being like, oh, what's next? They're just gonna be able to drive a car in space, and they included that. I thought that was pretty funny. The way he was controlling the car in space that would never apply in real life. But I know these movies
none of these movies would ever apply in it.
Yeah, I know these movies are very far-fetched from real life, but it's just, for me, the story like completely dropped, because like I liked the story of the hacker people. I forget their names.
Was it Cypher?
Cypher, yeah, Cypher. I liked her in like I think it was 8 that she was first introduced.
Yeah, when
8.
Dom for some reason had a kid out of nowhere.
I mean, it was always, he knew, but like he didn't know. We knew, I think.
I didn't know.
I thought they said something about it in like the 7th one or something about it.
So, but whatever.
But yeah, and then I liked her in that one. Like, I liked the idea of it, but then they completely ruined it for me in like the 9th one. I like how 7 tied into the 8th one, like with the brother, or 6 tied in with the 8th one because of the brother and whatever, and everything tied in. I don't know, whatever. 9 just for me fell off completely, and I didn't like it. I kind of rambled a bit.
See, I think while you were talking, I realized I think what my biggest issue with F9 is that I think it's just, compared to a lot of the other Fast and Furious movies, I think it's very forgettable. Because you were talking and I was like, I don't remember a lot of this.
Yeah. I remember most of it. I don't know why, but it's really not that good, man.
All right. Well, my number 3 worst. I'll be interested to see your reactions. I don't know this, but I think this might be on your best list, knowing you. And that's Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Now,
I knew you didn't like this one. I know. You didn't like the first one either. I know you didn't like this one.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I guess it's a marginal improvement on the first one. Although it still feels really long to me. I was just so bored, and like nothing happens for like half the movie. Everybody's performance is just so weird, and at the time I was like, okay, the post-credit scene is really cool, just now there's Spider-Man there. But then Spider-Man No Way Home, in one of the few decisions that I actually don't like in that movie, just kind of wastes that and sends Tom Hardy back immediately. So it's like, why did that even happen in the first place? So yeah, I don't know. I think it's still just not working for me. And I know I'm kind of in the minority there. I know a lot of people really like these movies, but like, man, it's not my thing.
All right. I can't agree with you that I enjoy the first one over this one more. I will agree with you that it was slow, more specifically for me, like kind of in the middle-ish area when they like separated, when Venom
when he goes to a rave.
Yeah, like that. Like, why? Like, what's the point in all that whole like debacle? Just like, I didn't really need that.
It's so weird that in a movie that is only an hour and a half long, there still manages to be like half of it that's filler.
Yeah, like really, like it just felt like but everything. I liked Carnage. I loved Carnage actually. I thought he was really cool. But like it's like kind of like you said, like a lot of it just felt like filler that didn't need to be there.
All right, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Space Jam: A New Legacy.
Okay, so I haven't seen this one,
Yes.
so I can't really comment too much. But yes. Yeah, go for it.
Where do I start? Props to them for trying to do something new. Compared to the first one, its story is very different, very, very different. I'm assuming you've seen the first one.
No, I haven't.
Oh my god. Wow. Okay.
I mean, I've also heard it's bad, so I don't really.
The first Space Jam?
Yeah. I know 90s kids love it, but like I've heard that if you go, I've heard that it absolutely does not hold up, and it is a complete like stupid movie.
I still think it's one of the greatest movies of all time. But
anyway,
anyway, the whole story behind it is just family issues, and it's kind of dumb. And the acting itself, he's a basketball star, cannot act at all. He is terrible.
Is he better than Shaq? Was it Shaq in the first one, or was it?
No,
it was LeBron
Jordan.
James, wasn't it? Or no, it was fucking Michael Jordan.
Yeah, Michael Jordan did in my opinion, he did a good job, especially since he wasn't an actor. He did a good job. LeBron James did not do a good job, and I did not. Okay, what?
I have a question.
Yes.
Having not seen the movie, I don't understand why they didn't. But I know enough. I know enough about it. Why didn't they just like recruit like Superman and Godzilla and like Batman and like Wonder Woman and all the heavy hitters?
That's the funny thing.
Just the entire Justice League.
He tried, but I think Bugs Bunny made a joke about like how there wasn't enough budget. He literally like
That's not a fucking excuse, but Jesus Christ.
He literally I remember he wrote down his original dream team, and it had like Superman and like other like people on there. I think it literally had like King Kong. I think it had on there.
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, we can't use them." But it wasn't about the budget. I think he made like some BS excuse, and it was just the fact that Bugs wanted to reunite his family because they got like all of like the Looney Tunes left to different like Warner Brothers like worlds, because they were like worlds, like there's like a DC world.
Yeah,
like,
I know about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they all went to their separate worlds, and so instead of recruiting people that were like actually good for baseball or basketball team, Bugs wanted his original family back, and so he would only accept those people. And yeah, but like Superman was on there, like LeBron James wanted to recruit him and stuff, but Bugs said no. And I think you saw Superman at one point, like an animated Superman. And then that's another thing. I didn't like how they made it like live action. I don't know, like it was like a weird live action / cartoonish thing that I just did not enjoy.
Here are the three things that I know that happens in Space Jam. I know the granny does the Matrix.
Yes.
I know Porky Pig does a rap.
That was absolutely awful.
And I know they're all like, we're getting four things. I know that Don Cheadle's name is Algae Rhythm.
Yes.
And I know that like during halftime they're like, we're getting cleaned up out there, what are we gonna do? And then one of them's like, guys, I've saved us, I found Michael Jordan, and then Michael B. Jordan walks in.
Michael, that one I actually enjoyed. That I thought that was really funny. That was a really clever joke.
Yeah.
That was like actually the one part of the movie that I actually kind of enjoyed. I think it was Daffy Duck that brought him in.
Okay.
And it was the pig, Porky the Pig, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't remember who it was, honestly, but yeah,
yeah,
that was a really funny joke they did.
Is that all you have to say on Space Jam?
Yes.
All right. Well, my number two. As much as it pains me to put an MCU movie on this list, Eternals.
All right.
Yeah. I go back and forth on whether or not I think this is the worst movie in the MCU. I respect its ambition. There are definitely things that I like about it. I like Kit Harington a lot. Every time the Celestials are on screen, I'm absolutely into it. I'm like, hell yes, the Celestials are dope. And I like Makkari. I like some of the. I like Phastos. I like Druid. I like some of the Eternals, but the ones that I like are not the ones that have any screen time. Ultimately, I'm just like, it's dull. it's like the action sequences are pretty shit, I think. I do like the implication there's just a big ass fucking celestial hand in the middle of the earth, and they're just gonna have to deal with that and just live with it. But like I didn't kind of like any of the characters. Icarus's whole turn to the dark side, I think, was just really, it was not like interesting. I don't think the romance between Cersei and Icarus was interesting at all. I think it was just not. I've heard a lot of people say it should have been a Disney Plus series, and on one hand, I kind of agree with that. I think maybe it would have served the mythology a little bit better, but also I'm like, I don't know if I want to see like 6 hours of these guys. I don't care. So, I mean, the Blade reveal at the end was cool. The Blade voice cameo. Like there are elements of this I'm excited to see carry forward, but on the whole, I was not into this one.
Yeah, no, you said it pretty well. I really couldn't say it any better myself. I kind of agree with everything you agreed. Kit Harington loved all the characters that like didn't have screen time. I actually enjoyed more than the ones that did.
Yeah,
which really sucks because they like that really just sucks. They focus on the wrong characters for me. And yeah, the Icarus whole turn to the bad side thing and him flying into the sun, like whatever.
That felt very on the nose to me. I was like, really?
Yeah. It's just I agree with you. I didn't warrant it enough to be in my worst movies of all time, but I don't think it's the worst MCU movie. I still think Thor 2 holds that with
Thor 2 is bad. Yeah.
I still think that one holds it with a freaking power.
Iron Man 2 I think is worse than Thor 2. If I'm putting anything below this, it's Iron Man 2.
I still think Thor 2 is the worst MCU movie ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really couldn't have said that any better myself.
All right. On to number 1.
All right. So we at least I talked about it a little bit right before we put this whole list together. But my worst movie that I watched last year was The House of Gucci. That movie, I really
number 1.
It felt like 5 fucking hours, dude.
Yeah, I mean, Ridley Scott is kind of notorious for making really long movies.
I cannot express how much, like, I had never heard about this movie at all until like a week before when my mom was like, dude, I really want to see this movie. I was like, I have no idea what movie you are even talking about. I've never heard of this. She's like, it comes out next week. Let's go. I was like, I'll go with you. I don't mind. And God, I really wish I didn't say that. This movie. So let me put 2 things straight. Lady Gaga and Adam Driver were great. I think their characters, their acting, their whole role in the movies were fantastic. I think they did a great job of acting. Jared Leto, I think he did a good job of acting his character. I hated his character, however. His character was the most annoying piece of shit in the entire world. The whole story behind the House of Gucci, from what I've heard from the actual people of Gucci, was completely wrong, and they did it terribly.
So I will say on that point, I mean, as it's possible that like there's a lot of things that are dramatized, obviously, for film. Yes. But like, I mean, the Guccis were not good people, right? Like, yes. I'm understanding that correctly. So of course they'd be like, this is not accurate. I don't know if that's 100% true, but
so I'll give the complete like a small little summary real quick. So there is the 2, I'll say Adam Driver as the main character. Yeah. There was his father and then his father's brother.
One of those is Al Pacino, right?
I believe so. Yes.
It's like Al Pacino and Jeremy Irons or something.
Yes, those are the 2. That's his father and his uncle, Adam Driver's. That's his father and his uncle, and they were the ones that were in charge of Gucci at the beginning of the movie. Then Adam Driver takes over his father's shares from Gucci, and he usurps his uncle at the behest of his wife, Lady Gaga. So Adam Driver listens to Lady Gaga, and he takes his father's shares and gives it to his cousin, which is Jared Leto. He was the most dumbest person I've ever seen in my life. and they basically took his shares from him and put it all, and they got like an outside CEO and brought him in instead of the cousin, and it just basically all fell apart when Adam Driver divorced Lady Gaga. She hired someone to assassinate Adam Driver, and then it just all fell apart. And it was just so slow, and it didn't really pick up until the very last, like literally, and I mean literally, last 5 minutes were the most interesting parts, and that was the end of the movie, though.
All right. Yeah, I haven't seen this one. I work in a movie theater, so like I've seen bits and pieces of a lot of these movies. So I've seen Jared Leto's horrendous Italian accent, and I kind of love it. But I hate Jared Leto, and man, I'm gonna have some things to say when Morbius comes out, because yeah, that's gonna be a lot for me.
I know you don't like Jared Leto. I don't mind him as an actor. I didn't he did a great job of acting. I feel like they just give him a terrible character. So bad.
I just think he's a jackass who thinks he's better than everybody, but that's besides the point. Yeah. All right. Well, my number one worst movie, and we've actually already talked about it a little bit, is Mortal Kombat. So I'm not going to say too much here. The first 10 minutes are pretty stellar. Almost enough that I could potentially actually shift this to number 2 and put Eternals as number 1, but I'm not going to do that. I don't know. I have no nostalgia or really familiarity with the source material at all. I do not care about Mortal Kombat. So, like, I was not somebody who was going to be disappointed with this because they didn't adhere closely enough to the games, and I still just really hated it. It's like the last Airbender movie. I did not watch that series before I saw the movie, but just as a movie, it fails on every level. I kind of feel that way about Mortal Kombat. So I don't really have too much to say about it. It's just bad. I don't know. Some of the characters are okay, I guess. Scorpion was really cool, but he was only in like 10 minutes of the movie. So yeah.
Yes. No. Yep. Just yep.
All right. We're going to shift to a more positive note here and do our top 10 movies of the year, starting at number 10, going to number 1. I guess to keep the order going, you can start us off here, Sebastian.
I'm going to leave my honorable mention to like after I say the second one, just so you know.
Okay. So like between 2 and 1?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So my number 10 slot is, I don't remember if you said you watched this one. I think you said you didn't. Was Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yes. Okay. I had never seen any of the previous Ghostbusters before this one, and after I saw this one, and then immediately after came home and watched the first. I actually watched. No, I only saw the first one. I thought this one was actually really good. They did a really good job with it. I thought they ended the series really well.
Is this an end, or is this like a reboot and they're trying to get more out of it?
I think they ended it with this one.
Okay. Because that seems antithetical to everything Sony is about, but
no, yeah, I know. But like, if you don't mind me spoiling it.
No, I don't care.
Okay. So the first one, obviously, it was about, I don't remember what the villain's name is, but there's like a main ghost that like brought forth like the Stay Puft
like Bruno or something.
Yeah, I don't remember the name at all.
Let me look it up. I don't think it's Bruno, but
it's not Bruno. It starts with like a Z or something.
Zordon from Power Rangers.
Zordon. Something like that. Yeah. So she was like the main villain in the first one, and she was like the whole reason behind like all the ghosts and all the freaky stuff. And in this one, they finally like defeated her officially.
It's
Gorza?
Yeah. Or Gozer.
Gozer. That's what it is. Yeah. So in this one, they finally defeated her, and that's supposed to be the end. I'm pretty sure. So I think this one was like finally an end to everything.
But are they not setting up like the new team doing more other ghost adventures that's just not related to her?
I don't think so, because I think the whole reason of Gozer was the fact that her trying to come into the mortal plane was causing all of the freaky ghost stuff in the first place.
Okay.
So I think it might be over now. I'm not sure. From what I could tell, it kind of felt like an end.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't really have anything to say about it as I didn't see it. Do you think it relied too heavily on nostalgia?
No, because I hadn't, like I said, I'd never seen the first one,
yeah.
and they did a good job of explaining everything up to the point. It wasn't until I saw the first one that I like put pieces together, like, oh, that's where like that's this person, that's where okay, and everything kind of just like clicked. But you did not need to see any of the other ones to see this one.
All right. Well, my number 10, and some people might think this is a little bit too low. It actually almost did not make the list. It was literally up to a random number generator whether this or my number 11 made the list. So my number 10 is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Wow.
Yeah. I did not think this was going to make the list when I first saw this movie because I didn't love it. I mean, I don't dislike it. I think the first half or the first like 45 minutes is very good. I think the middle chunk is pretty slow and not that interesting, and then I think the last, like the third act, is solid. So yeah, I mean, there's not too much to say about this movie. It's, I mean, there's some very groundbreaking things about it within the MCU. Like the martial arts is way better than pretty much anything we've seen in the MCU thus far. I think the visual style, not necessarily the actual like visual effects, but the visual style and the presentation, I think is excellent. I think it's the best like looking Marvel movie from that respect in terms of all the color saturation. I like that there's a big dragon. Some of the suits are pretty cool. I don't know. I mean, the Mandarin's cool. He's definitely way better than the Mandarin in Iron Man 3. But ultimately, it felt very much like a generic kind of, not generic, but it felt very much like a kind of standard Marvel origin movie. And at this point, I'm just kind of over those. Like I've seen so many that I'm like, we can move away from some origin stuff. I think this is a very solidly done origin movie. I just think it's more of the same in that regard.
All right, yeah, and it sucks because it kind of sucks in that regard with the origin stuff is because we're always gonna get origins whenever they introduce a new character.
Not necessarily. I mean,
for the first time,
Black Panther was like they just threw him in Civil War and they're like, yeah, here's a little bit.
See, that's the thing though. Like Civil War was kind of his. It was kind of his origin though. So
yes,
it wasn't
like his movie.
His movie, yes, it wasn't. It wasn't complete. It wasn't a complete origin. Yeah, I will say yes, that is true. But they introduced him in another movie, so it was like it came with like kind of like the same with Spider-Man. Like his movie wasn't completely an origin, but they introduced him in another movie. Shang-Chi, they never introduced him in another movie, so they have to do like an origin for him and actually introduce him.
I don't know. I'm just kind of I'm overseeing the like, character gets bitten by a radioactive something and then gets powers and then bam, he has a crisis of faith and he's like, I don't know if I can do this, and then there's a big motivational speech and they're like, no, you can do this. You're a hero, and then they're like, you know what, I am a hero, and then they go and they beat the generic bad guy and save the day.
Yeah. No, I got you. I will agree with you that like it was kind of slow in the middle-ish area. For me, it was like when they first went to the compound till his father showed up in
Ta Lo.
Ta Lo. That's where the whole slow bit was.
Yeah, that's I think for me it only lasts until Shang-Chi and his buddies get to Ta Lo. Because I think Ta Lo is a very interesting place just in general, so I don't mind if it's slowing down in there.
Yeah, so the compound for sure was slow.
Yeah. Numero 9.
Numero 9 for me. Number 9 for me was Jungle Cruise.
I also haven't seen this one.
Dang it! All right. So for Jungle Cruise, I thought this one was actually going to be a horrible movie. I thought it was going to be one of those ones where it looks like it was going to be a family movie that the trailers made look terrible, but it was going to be enjoyable to watch because it was just a dumb family movie or whatever. That is not the case. This one was actually really good. The Rock's character, between him telling completely horrible like jokes, which I might be biased to because I freaking love. Like completely just terrible puns. It was amazing. The entire movie. And I think Emily Blunt, I believe it was.
Yep.
Between her, just the whole overall story, I thought was a lot better than I thought it was going to be, and just the story and the characters were really likable, and I enjoyed it a lot.
I will say that boat is way too small for The Rock to be piloting it. He needs a bigger boat.
Yeah, but yeah.
He's too big to fit in that boat.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good. I enjoyed it a lot, actually, a lot more than I thought I was.
Yeah. All right. Well, my number 9, and this is something that I think is probably going to be on your list, but maybe a little bit higher.
All right.
Higher. Free Guy. This is kind of my Jungle Cruise of the year, I guess.
I'm glad you put it on, because this is one of the ones that I forced you to watch.
Yes, I was not going to watch this one, but then you were like, "We got to watch it," and then I was like, "Okay." And our thing was we can make each other watch. I think it's 2 movies per year, and then we have to do a review on them. Yes. But then because of some situations with Sebastian being not at his actual house, we were not able to actually. We tried to record, and it just was too noisy, and we weren't able to actually record a video on it. Yeah. So, but yeah, I was not really expecting to like this. Not that I thought I would hate it, but I'm just like, for me, Ryan Reynolds, I think he's very good at what he does, but he just keeps doing the same thing over and over again, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I think I've seen what I need to see of him. And like he's still doing Ryan Reynolds, but it's a very fun, just kind of light, charming movie. Really, the reason it's on my list is because of that Chris Evans cameo when he brings out Captain America's shield. I was like, okay, yeah, that's pretty good. I was like losing my mind during that section. Yeah, but I don't have too much to say about it. It's just a fun movie. Jodie Comer is really good in this. Yeah, I don't know. It's a fun. It's fun. Channing Tatum has a nice little fun cameo. There's some good little jokes in there. So yeah, that's not too much to say about it. But this could honestly, I mean, most of these movies could be shifted around. So this could even get up to like, on the right day, it could be like number 6. But for right now, this is where it's at.
Yeah, I won't say too much because it is on my list. So I'll talk more about it when I get there. But yes. Okay. It is good. So I am on number 8, I believe. Yep. And my number 8, Shang-Chi. It could get slow in the middle. I'm not tired of origin stories per se. I think they're always going to be a part of movies in general. So I can't really afford to get tired of them. And I thought this one was a well-done origin story. It wasn't completely slow in the beginning like most are, I feel like. The action sequences were amazing. Best ones we've seen in the MCU so far, I feel like. At least hand-to-hand wise.
Yes, I think some of the stuff in the Avengers movies beats it.
Yes. Yes, hand-to-hand combat were amazing. I mean, what else can you expect from the first MCU, like, karate movie, per se?
I mean, you'd think that, but like at the same time, that's what Iron Fist was supposed to be, and that was just a complete like fuck up.
Yeah, but that was a show. This is a movie. Yeah. Different things, man. Different things. And yeah, overall it was really good. I was expecting it to be good, and then it was better than what I thought. Like I thought it was. I don't know how to say that. It wasn't better than what I thought. That's wrong. I thought it was going to be a good movie, and it was a good movie.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. For me, the moment I can tell you the moment I got origin movie fatigue. It was when I saw Captain Marvel, and I was like, I do not ever need to see another origin movie in my life, because that had just come off the back of Ant-Man and the Wasp, which I don't like, but it's not an origin story. Avengers, Black Panther, Thor, Spider-Man, Guardians 2. The last origin movie we had was like 2.5 years earlier with Doctor Strange 1. So I was just like, we've seen so much like insane stuff. I don't really feel the need to throw origin movies in there anymore.
No, yeah. It's fair enough. But like, yeah, Captain Marvel's origin was terrible though. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
Sorry, but that movie wasn't the best.
Yeah, not my favorite. I have some hope for the sequel because I think they might be doing some Secret Invasion stuff in there, but we'll see.
I would hope so.
Yeah. All right. Well, my number 8 is a movie that I know Sebastian has not seen, and you might actually be surprised to hear this. My number 8 is Dune.
Okay.
I don't really know why I liked this one as much as I do. I have no familiarity with the Dune books. I have the first one. I haven't started it yet, but I'm going to. But yeah, I have not read any of the Dune books, but mostly it's just like visually, like, god damn, this movie is impressive. There's some really good stuff. I think the music is really good. The score is really good. Obviously, the cast is amazing. Like, Oscar Isaac in particular is really good in this. People say Jason Momoa seemed out of place, but I really liked him. I think he brought some really like necessary energy to the movie that was kind of not there otherwise.
Stop me if I'm wrong here, but is it true he's only in like 10 minutes, like only toward the end?
Now he's in the start a little bit, and he does die, which is a bummer.
What the hell?
Yeah, I know. But he's good. Zendaya,
I've heard she's only like the last like 3.
She's basically not in the movie. Yeah, the marketing really misled everybody on that. That was really disappointing.
Well, don't say just on that. On the whole movie, you should say.
What do you mean?
See, okay, so I feel like part of the reason why I haven't seen this movie is I have only heard absolute shite from this movie with the fact that this is only part 1 of 2 parts. True.
Yeah,
and they did not market that at all.
Yeah.
And I feel like at this point, if I watch it, I'm only going to have bad things to say about it. And I feel like that's part of the reason why I haven't seen it.
So here's the thing in that regard. I think if this was not going to get a sequel, it would be utterly unwatchable. Like, I would never be able to rewatch this. But a sequel has been confirmed. So they are going to do the entire story.
They only confirmed it like a week after the first
yes,
one
that is
came
true.
out.
That is true.
So, like, if it wasn't confirmed, this would have gone down as one of the worst movies ever made.
See, I think it's actually I don't think it's a bad movie in its own right. I just think it would have been completely unsatisfying if we didn't get a sequel. But I will say everything with the sandworms, fucking awesome, and the Gom Jabbar scene with the box is super cool. So there's a lot of great stuff. I'm not super impressed with Timothée Chalamet in general, but I think he's really good for what the character is. So yeah, I just think it's a really solid movie with some really great special effects.
I've heard the score is really good.
I really like it. Yeah.
Okay. I think it was it Hans Zimmer that did it?
It was Hans Zimmer. Yes.
Okay. I love Hans Zimmer. So
he's good. Yeah.
I would love the score probably.
He also did the score of another movie that is going to be on my list, and I suspect it's also probably on your list.
It is most certainly on mine.
Yeah.
Most certainly. All right. Number 7, which I think is on yours. I really don't know. We didn't talk about this one that much beforehand. Is Suicide Squad for me.
Okay.
Oh, just a major step up from the first Suicide Squad that we got. That one was utterly
I mean, that's
garbage.
not hard. Yeah.
Yeah, you saw the one afterwards. I know.
I saw it just before the new one came out.
Yeah. And so you had something to compare it to, and it was a definite step up. It was James Gunn, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct. Yep.
Yes. Love him. He did a great job. I love his directing style. It was just, I don't know if it was for say him or what, but just the whole color. Like everything's always so colorful, like and vibrant, like explosions and stuff. Just everything's. It's never really completely dark, except for one scene, which is where Peacemaker killed Flag. I would say that's like that whole debacle, not just that, but that whole debacle was pretty dark for me.
The first scene on the beach is pretty darkly lit.
I wouldn't say. See, but that's the thing. I wouldn't say it was dark either, because it was in part as well comedic. So I don't know if I was.
Do you mean tonally or do you mean like visually?
Like the feels.
Okay, I thought you meant just like visually. It was
no, not visually. I meant like the feels. It was felt like darker. Like like, yeah, like, I don't know, like, it felt heavy.
Yeah.
In a sense. The first scene, like, you expected them to storm the beach. You expected them, like, all those people I expected just be, like, in the movie. They were literally only in it for, like, the first 5 minutes, and it was just hilarious for me.
Oh, I knew they were all going to die. I was like, there's no way that more than, like, 2 of these people make it
I
out
wasn't thinking that at all. I figured some of they'd be killed off eventually, but not in the first 5 minutes. With the fact that Weasel instantly jumping out of the plane dies, or supposedly dies. We learn later that he didn't actually die. TDK freaking loved the way he died, and his power was just completely useless.
So he's not actually dead. You see in the like opening credits, it does say critical condition, and I think James Gunn has come out and said he's not actually dead. He was in very bad shape, but he did survive.
Wow. Okay. Well, anyway, he was out of commission for the movie. I'll say.
Yeah.
Then. What else? Javelin. Instantly, like, his power, he didn't have anything. He just had a fucking javelin. Like, what the hell is that? The weird alien monster lady.
Mongal, I think is her name.
Yeah, that she jumped onto a helicopter and then died. The porcupine guy, just everything went wrong that could go wrong, and it was hilarious.
The porcupine guy?
I don't know, dude. There was some spikes somewhere.
Captain Boomerang?
No. He got stuck with spikes.
Yeah, like a porcupine.
Yeah. Who was the porcupine guy? Because how did he get the spikes in his face?
No, he got the spikes in his face because Mongal crashed the helicopter and it, like, shredded up a bunch of debris, and tree splinters just riddled him.
It was tree splinters. That's what I'm remembering. I thought it was like porcupine spikes. Okay, yeah. That's what it was. Yeah, he died instantly. Yeah, it was just everything went wrong, and I overall enjoyed the way he directed the movie, the way the movie flowed in general as well, and just everything about it was just, I really enjoyed it.
I do like how DC clearly just went, James Gunn, you can just do whatever you want. Like, we will give you $100 million, just do whatever you want to do with this. Okay, my number 7 is a movie that you have not, I don't think you've seen. Last Night in Soho. I don't have too much to say about this. It's Edgar Wright, who is a very good director. He did, like, Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, or not? Is it Hot Fuzz? I think it's Hot Fuzz. And The World's End and Baby Driver.
He's a Baby Driver, really?
Baby Driver, yep. Oh, yeah, it's good. It's a good kind of, the first half is it's kind of like a fun a fun kind of time, like, period piece thing, and then it turns into, like, a weird, really, like, creepy, kind of disturbing thriller in the back half. And I just think it's really solid. Good acting all around. Yeah, good cast. I mean, Thomasin McKenzie, Anya Taylor-Joy, Matt Smith, other people. Those are kind of the 3 main ones in there. But yeah, I think it's a really solid, like, good thriller movie.
All right, nice. Yeah, I saw a bunch of trailers. Never really heard anything about it. Never saw any reviews about it. So
yeah,
I don't have anything to say about it because I didn't watch it. So, but it definitely looked interesting. I'll say that.
Yep.
All right, my number 6 movie was I lost track, but my number 6 is Free Guy.
Okay.
That was your number 9?
Yes.
Okay, I was right. Yes, it was higher on my list. I was really looking forward to it because I absolutely love Ryan Reynolds. I've actually love the alcohol he makes too. His American Aviation Gin. It is delicious. You should try it. And it's actually, I mean, I say it's delicious strictly because it's, like, the only gin I've tried. But I know you're not supposed to drink gin straight up, but I can literally drink it straight up. It's so good. I love Ryan Reynolds. I love his acting. I love him in general. The movie itself was amazing. I think the whole, like, it didn't. I think a video game movie finally, besides, because Ready Player One did it too, but I don't know how to explain this. I
mean, this is the best video game movie because it's not like emulating a specific video game, it's just emulating the tropes.
Yes, I think that's what I was trying to say.
If anything, it's like GTA the movie, but, like, more.
That's what I compared it to as well. It's basically GTA, but not right. And it focused. I like the fact that it focused on, like, the not NPCs of the game rather than like an actual player of the game that like is the focus of the movie. It was the everything behind the scenes, for the most part at least. Judy Comer, is that how you say her name?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Loved her. I don't think I had seen anything with her beforehand, and I absolutely love her now. She's amazing.
She's good, yeah.
I loved her song that she like re-sang for this movie. It was originally a Mariah Carey song, but then she sang it for this movie, and it was amazing. I love it. Love it more than the Mariah Carey version. And just the overall acting, the story itself was really funny. The Chris Evans cameo, the dude version of Ryan Reynolds was absolutely hilarious.
Dude didn't really land for me. That's one of the parts that didn't entirely land for me.
God, every time I see him, I laugh every single time. He's so funny. Just between him, like basically being like having half a brain, literally, and just not like he will just I don't know. He just says the most random shit, and it's just so funny to me.
Is that all you got?
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. It's good. I don't know if I didn't know going in that Jodie Comer played both the in-game character and the like real world version. I don't think I would have known that it's the same actor.
Yeah.
Okay, well my number 6 is actually the Suicide Squad.
Okay, nice.
I think I don't have too much more to say on top of what you said. I think it's really great that they made Starro the main villain. I think that was really good. It made me like Rick Flag. I was actually really bummed when he died. That was not something I was expecting.
Yes.
And Ratcatcher is the best character, and thank God she survived, because I would have been really upset if she had died.
I really liked Polka Dot Man. Really sad he died. Really sad he died. I thought he...
I mean, he's gonna die when he starts screaming, "I'm a motherfucking superhero."
No, yeah, I knew he was gonna die once he started saying that. I was sad that he did die. If he didn't die, he would have been my favorite, but I will for sure say Ratcatcher was my favorite. And I will say, like, the fact that she didn't feel like a supervillain like the rest of them.
Yeah, she was it was more of a series of unfortunate circumstances that placed her in that situation.
Yeah, exactly. And she was for sure my favorite. Besides, if it wasn't for Polka Dot Man, because I thought he did a really good job of playing his character. But yes, it would be Ratcatcher as well.
Yeah. And Idris Elba is also very good. He's always good.
And then obviously John Cena's Peacemaker was...
See, here's the I don't like him in the movie.
Really?
I think he's just very one note. He has like no character development. And now that I've seen the show, or like the half of the show that's been released so far when we're recording this, it does seem intentional that they left the character development out of the movie so they could do it in the show. But at the same, I don't think he has no growth or anything in the movie. I wasn't feeling his character.
He didn't have growth for sure, but I thought his character was... It was there. I liked the rivalry between him and Idris Elba the entire movie. I just thought it was really funny and like strategic kind of, and how he would literally kill anybody if they got in his way.
Yeah.
All right.
Number 5.
So yes, now on to the top 5. I'm pretty sure you said you didn't watch this one, but my number 5 is Luca.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I don't really know anything about it.
Yeah, so this is another one where I literally saw the trailer for it on YouTube, and I thought, holy shit, this is awful. This movie looks absolutely... Like, literally, if you see the first trailer, it looks so bad. Like, actually terrible. And then I knew it came out, and I did not care. And then my mom called me, and she was like, "Have you seen Luca?" I was like, "Nah." She's like, "You should watch it. It was actually really good." And I was like, "I'll give it a chance then." And the next day I put it on. Easily became one of my favorite, like, I think it was Disney Pixar. Yeah. It was easily one of my favorite Disney Pixar movies of all time now.
Well, that's interesting, because I tell you that when we talked and I'm like, "Sebastian, this movie is really good," you're like, "I don't care. I'm not going to see it."
Which movie was that?
It's on the list. I'll let you know when I get to it.
All right, fine then. No, yeah, it was really good. There was a bunch of character development the entire movie. What else? The story, um, which I thought was going to go nowhere, actually ended up going somewhere, and it was really clever the way they did it. The animation was, animation was just, it's caught up with them, and so it looks really clean and nice, and just the overall story just felt good. It just felt really good, and it was a really good movie.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I probably won't watch it, but
you should watch it. It's good.
All right. Well, coming back around to Hans Zimmer scores, I have a feeling that we will be talking about this again pretty soon here. My number 5 is No Time to Die.
I'm surprised it's so low for you.
Yeah, it's almost my number 4. But I made a call and I put it where it is instead.
All right.
Yeah, again, I want to remind everybody, major spoilers because because starting right now, I'm going to talk about the fact that I know a lot of people are mad about this, but I think it was a good call to kill off James Bond. I think it really fits well with his character arc that's been leading through the Daniel Craig James Bond movies. I don't know, have you seen any of the other ones since watching this one?
I still have only seen Skyfall.
You got to watch Casino Royale, man. It's incredible.
I know.
But yeah. Yeah, it's all around really good. The first hour in particular is like the bridge sequence in like Italy, I think it is at the start. Ana de Armas is fantastic in this. It's a shame she's only in it for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, that was a real shame. I loved her and Daniel Craig in that shootout scene. It was just
yeah. Yeah, it's solid. I did have the kind of complaint that I don't think for a second that this version of James Bond would actually like agree to raise a child and settle down with somebody because he's a lunatic. But other than that, I just think it was a really solid, really good action movie and a really solid conclusion to the Daniel Craig James Bond movies. And it's my second favorite of Daniel Craig's James Bond movies.
Yeah, so I'll agree with you there. I'll talk more about it because it's also on my list. Just the bridge scene, yes. The shootout scene with the actress that I have no idea whose name that you mentioned. And yeah, just overall, I will agree with you. It was really good. I'm surprised.
I really like how they just take a drink in the middle of their fight. They just make each other martinis.
Yeah. I agree with you that him dying was a really good send-off, you know. I thought it was a really good closure, especially since he's not going to be 007 anymore, James Bond anymore.
And I want to clarify also, like, I'm saying that as not having seen any of the other James Bond movies other than Daniel Craig. So, like, I get, like, that's not a thing you do in the other movies, but for me, having only seen this series, I think it worked really well.
I thought it worked amazingly well, especially since he, like, I don't know. I would have liked to see him have his happy ending, but I think the way they sent him off as well was really powerful, and it was really good.
Yeah.
On to number 4. I don't even know if you've heard of this movie, honestly, but it's called The Nobody.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
All right.
It's the one with what's his name? Bob something? Is it Bob something?
Yes, I'm pretty sure it's Bob something. I will get you a confirmation here.
Bob Odenkirk. I think Bob Odenkirk.
Bob Odenkirk. You were right.
This is like John Wood, except he's like a normal person, right?
In a sense, yes. In a sense, yes. I thought this one was really good. This one I really enjoyed. I like action shooter movies a lot, and this one really caught my eye. I really wanted to watch it. Wasn't able to watch it in theaters. Kind of forgot it even came out until it scrolled past, and I was able to watch it one day, and I actually really enjoyed it.
I know there's a big section on a train.
There is no train in this movie.
Or like a tram or a bus or something.
There is a bus. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, family man gives up the life of. He was like a CIA He did something for the CIA. He basically like killed people that owed money to the CIA or whatever, like anonymously.
Yeah, like John Wick.
John Wick was a bit more complicated, but yes, John Wick was never for the government. And so this guy gave that up to like try like to be with his family, whatever.
Yeah, like
and it didn't catch up with him per se, but some robbers like broke into his house, and instead of like basically murdering them, he let them go, and everybody was upset at him over this, saying, "What the hell? You like? Why did you do anything about it?" And it actually just spiraled down, and him basically becoming just more and more agitated at wanting to get back into that life, but also wanting to be with his just a regular family man, and just eventually it all just spirals down to one thing, and it's just him finally giving in and going like just recklessly going back in.
Okay. Yeah, this is a movie that I would actually like to see at some point. I just need to find the time to do it.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I would kind of compare it to John Wick. John Wick is its own thing, but this felt John Wick-ish.
Yeah. All right. Well, my number 4 is a movie that I'm starting to think may not even be on your top 10 at all. Black Widow.
It is not.
Now, this some people might be surprised I have this high. There was a while where this was like number 1 or number 2 for me. Not after like a certain other movie came out, which I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, I don't really know what it is about. I mean, part of the thing is I will admit there is some kind of bias in this regard, because I saw it like right off of Times Square in a really just like big packed theater, and it was huge, and the theater was like 3 stories tall, and like the screen and the sound system was amazing. And it was in the middle of a fucking tropical storm as well. So it was a really fun experience, but also like I think I still think it's a really solid movie, and like Florence Pugh, everybody loves her for good reason. She's very good in this role.
Very
the action is a little bit disappointing. There's some reveals that I do not think are entirely effective, but I don't know. I don't have too many complaints about this movie. There may be a few pacing issues here and there, but I think it's just a really solid movie with some really great moments.
All right, yeah, I don't. It's not even on my top 10. Loved Florence Pugh. Thought she was great in the movie. I honestly felt like she carried most of the movie, but that's just me.
I cannot explain to you how happy I was to see her in Hawkeye. Like when she popped up, I was like, "Oh my god, thank God!"
Yeah, no, yeah, I really don't have much to say about this movie. I'm not gonna lie. I think the scene where you're talking about with the Taskmaster whole like bit. Yeah, I did not. I hated that. I don't know why they always have to take off the people's masks and ruin the character. It's just awful. I said this
in the review. I think if they were going to do a reveal, they should have made it Natasha's mom. I think that would have been better than just some random person who got blown up and that we never have met before.
Fair enough. I hate how they always have to take off the mask and ruin the character for me.
Yeah.
I literally said this in our review.
We might be talking about that in a different video coming up here about a certain other show that's airing right now.
I don't know. Maybe not. But yes, yeah, I hate it.
Moving on, number 3.
Yeah, top 3 now. Top 3. This may not come as a surprise, but he knows how excited I was for this movie to come out. And
I think you mean how excited we both were. We both thought this was going to be the best movie of all time. If I'm thinking of the same movie you are.
I mean, it is the best movie of all time, though. I mean, we're not wrong.
Yeah. It's a shame I never released that video where it was just 2 hours of us talking about how this is the best movie of all time.
It is a damn shame. The unedited.
I still have the audio. I might throw it up at some point.
Just do it unedited. Just throw it out there, Arden. Just bam. 2 hours of us just rambling about the greatest movie of all time, which is Zack Snyder's Justice League.
I am actually surprised this is as low as it is. I thought this would be your number 2.
No, I couldn't put it. It had to be top. It had to be 3. It had to be 3 for me. Yeah, the other 2 were just too strongly, way too strong.
So I know what your top 2 are now. Actually,
yes, I definitely know your. I think I know your number one. I don't know.
What if it wasn't on my list at all?
I know for a fact what one of them are. I have no idea what the other one is. I am completely lost on one of them, but I hope I know which one the number one is. But yeah, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Man, if he didn't, I'm still unsure. I hear so many things about why he left, between like family problems and then like the studio itself booting him out. And
I would say he probably wasn't in great standing with the studio, but my guess is that it is 100% because of the family tragedy that he actually left.
Yeah. So like it's just, but yeah, I think it's more about the family issues that happened is the reason he left, not the studio itself. Because if the studio had left him, and I mean, I understand that this was 4 hours of movie,
which this would not have been the theatrical version.
Exactly. Sure. So this would I understand that this would not have been like actually released in theaters, but I still think it would have been better than the Joss Whedon cut.
Yeah, the Joss Whedon cut is fucking terrible.
He cut out so much character development in his movie compared to this one. Like, we literally didn't know anything. We literally, I feel like we came to hate the Flash and Cyborg simply because of Joss Whedon's cut.
I absolutely understand why. I absolutely understand why. Why Ray Fisher is like, fuck Joss Whedon, fuck Warner Brothers. They cut out my entire character.
Yeah, they literally they cut him out entirely. And same with the Flash too. They cut him out like, we got a little bit more character development from Flash than we did with Cyborg.
But even then, he was just like, what is brunch? What are we doing?
Exactly.
I'm a wacky guy. Yeah,
that was his whole thing. Was like, what is brunch? Like, it didn't feel like Justice League is supposed to feel like a family, kind of like Avengers. They felt close to each other. In Zack Snyder's, it felt close. They would throw, like, Flash would throw jokes at them specifically because Flash is Flash and he's supposed to be like the more lighthearted out of all of them, and it actually showed in Zack Snyder's version. I felt like, and just overall, it was a major improvement from the one that we originally got.
Okay. Yeah.
Is this even on your list?
I guess you'll find out, huh? So my number 3. Do you want to guess my number 3 just to see if you have any idea? I don't think you're gonna get it because I don't think you remember this movie even exists.
I don't know. I'm not even gonna guess that.
Yeah, this is the movie that I have said, hey, this is really good. You might want to give it a try. My number 3 is In the Heights.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have too much to say about it. It's just, I think it's a really solid movie with some really killer music. There are a few songs in this movie in particular that I'm just like, this is really amazing. I love the just kind of the whole the look at all the kind of difference in culture and stuff in New York. I just think it's great, and there's some really great scenes in there, and some just really, really good stuff. And it's a really good cast. One of the actors from this is in the new Scream movie. I think she's like the main character in the new Scream movie. I haven't seen the new Scream movie, but it's a good movie. I like it.
I still won't watch it.
This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Still won't watch it. I don't know. It really doesn't call to me.
And I don't really like musicals either, by the way. But I really like.
I don't know. I kind of like not liking Lin-Manuel Miranda, low key.
So, but is the only thing you've seen of him Encanto? Because that's a very small selection size.
Well, I know he's done Hamilton.
Yep.
I literally only know Hamilton, In the Heights, and Encanto.
He did the music for Moana.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay, I liked Moana music. Thought those were really good. That kind of surprises me because I actually really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, you might want to give one of these other ones, either Hamilton or In the Heights, a chance because he's a very talented guy.
I'll flip a coin like you did.
Okay, I can bust out the random number generator again.
Yeah. We'll flip that coin. And we'll figure out which one I'm watching. All right, so my number 2. Arden already knows it if he wants to just say it. There you go. There it is. It's No Time to Die. I was shocked out of the movie, coming out of the movie. Especially since this was my second 007 movie. My first being Skyfall, and
I don't like Skyfall. I know a lot of people forgot.
It was not the best. So this one literally left me in awe. I thought this was an amazing movie, phenomenal. Just between like the way it started, just between the whole bridge car scene and how nonchalantly he just doesn't like care about the bullets coming towards him. I feel like half the time.
Yeah, he's a lunatic, dude. He was just he's an insane tank.
Like he literally just does not care. I'm just like, I don't know why. It just puts me in awe every single time. And man, I literally I had words coming out of the movie. There were some, I don't know. I'm trying to remember if there were like, I don't remember anything. It's been so long since I've seen this. I don't remember if there's anything I didn't like about the movie. But I just thought the overall story was really well, and the way they ended it was phenomenal. How towards the beginning of the movie you saw that he wanted out, that he just wanted to be in peace with a family. He just wanted to like leave it all behind, and his life wouldn't let him. Like nothing would let him. And then towards the end, he finally realized that he had a family and he could leave it all behind. But again, it didn't let him, and it actually ended up in him having to die in order to let his family live. And it blew my mind, and it was just an amazing movie. And then also Hans Zimmer is amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, he's good. If I had one complaint about this movie, it's that I don't think the villain is particularly compelling. Rami Malek is good, like he's obviously a great actor, but I don't think they do very much with him.
Gotcha, yeah, it's definitely more of the organization than him himself, but the way that he thought about bringing the end to everything for me made him a more compelling villain.
Okay, yeah. All right. Well, my number 2, I think you're going to be surprised that I put it this high, but yeah, mine's the Snyder Cut. I am actually shocked that I have this higher than you do.
Wow, I am too. Holy cow. So our top 3s are all the same.
Well, no, because In the Heights is
you put In the Heights up there.
And you have no idea what my number 1 is. It could be anything.
It could be anything.
So I have gone back and forth as to where I have been putting this the entire year. At one point, both In the Heights and Black Widow were ahead of this.
I'm in shock right now. Holy cow.
Yeah. Ultimately, here's the thing, right? I think this movie could do with a little less slow-mo.
Okay, I can agree with you. I will agree with you.
But like, this feels like the Justice League actually like. I am typically of the opinion that Zack Snyder does not understand comic books. This is, I think, just kind of the exception. It makes it almost look like this entire thing has just been a planned character arc. Like Superman actually kind of feels like Superman here, and he doesn't just. I mean, he kind of still just comes in and beats Steppenwolf single-handedly, but it's not as egregious, I think.
Yeah.
Mostly because everybody else fucking dies and the Flash has to rewind time. Like, yeah, man, that's super cool.
Yes.
Cyborg is really good. Everybody's really good, and I mean everybody's better in this. I think they've taken out the worst parts of it, although there are still some jokes that I don't think entirely land, and some dumb stuff, like the whole scene where there's like that Nordic village singing while they're sniffing Jason Momoa's sweater or something. That was a little bit.
Like there, obviously this was like mostly uncut and stuff. So it was, there was definitely some things that if Zack Snyder kept producing the movie, things would have been cut. Obviously, like the slow mo, some parts, like you were saying, like that sniffing sweater scene, but.
But I mean, it's cool that we got Darkseid. I would really have liked to see more of where this was going, but that's probably never gonna happen. No. The Steppenwolf redesign also like is so much better.
Much better. I don't know why he ever redesigned him in the first place. Honestly,
I don't think I can think of anything in this movie that is actually worse than the Justice League cut.
I really can't. And then there was the whole. I didn't mention this in mine, but there was the whole. Like it was the end credit scene with the Joker and the Apocalypse and whatever.
Okay, yeah, that's actually I'm not a huge fan of that.
Really? That whole scene was like chilling for me.
I don't know. First of all, I don't like Jared Leto, but also there's that weird like thing where he's talking about like jerking Batman off, and I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here?
It just for me, I don't know. For me, Batman and Joker is my favorite comic like thing ever. I love their dynamic that they both need each other to live, and just the whole.
For me, it's probably Daredevil and Bullseye.
Okay, yeah. For me, yeah. This is the whole thing of them needing each other and them literally just shitting on each other, like trying to just make them snap at the end of that movie just by trying to make each other piss each other off. And it's just it's the whole dynamic of them that just really I just love it.
See, I typically agree with you. I just don't think that those two actors were the right choices for that particular. I've always been kind of a defender of Ben Affleck Batman. I don't think he's terrible.
I don't agree with the people that say he's like the worst Batman. I actually really enjoy his Batman.
Yeah,
I think he does a great Batman.
But yeah, generally I think it's very good. There are like clearly some special effects that are a little bit ropey, like the Martian Manhunter stuff. But that's not too big of a complaint.
Yeah.
All right, should we say our number ones together?
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure
the count of three. We can do it at the count of three, all right?
If you say something else, I'm throwing hands.
Okay.
I don't care.
Count of three. Ready?
All right, yeah.
1, 2, 3. Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Shut up.
I gotcha. You thought I was going to zig, but then I zagged.
Yeah, whatever. It's Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah, it's Spider-Man. I knew that this was going to be my favorite movie of the year when Daredevil showed up. Because I was like, no matter what, I went into this thinking if Daredevil shows up, this is going to be like my favorite movie of all time. Because Daredevil's my favorite comic book character of all time.
Yeah.
Again, if you are still here and you have not seen the movie, get the fuck out. We don't want you.
You literally, you should not let this one be spoiled for you. It's too good.
I mean, it's been over a month, so everybody knows by now. But it is hands down my favorite MCU movie of all time. How many times have you seen it?
I have seen it 3 times.
Me too.
And
all in a week, by the way.
All in a week. Oh yeah, mine were spaced out.
I saw it Thursday. I saw it the Thursday opening night, then Monday, then the next Thursday.
Wow. Yeah. Damn. I saw it Wednesday because it came out earlier here.
Yeah.
I saw it Wednesday, and then I saw it, I think, on the next week Friday. Went with my dad, and then I went again. Yeah.
Okay.
I have no idea what day that one the third was, but
I will say.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
If I have any complaints about this movie, I don't think the first half is amazing. Other than the Daredevil cameo, I think it's solid. But for me, it's not until the scene at the apartment where shit just really goes like out the window. That's where the movie becomes really great for me.
Gotcha. Okay. I agree with you about 40%. 40%.
Okay.
Mostly because I feel like that first part was necessary for the rest of the movie.
It definitely was. I just don't think it was as engaging.
Okay. In that case, yes. I agree with you. I wouldn't say about the apartment. I would say around the bridge scene is when everything before that wasn't as engaging. But the apartment scene onwards was just pure gold, in my opinion. I will say I am still at a loss for words for how amazing this freaking movie was. Specifically, Willem Dafoe.
Yep.
Absolutely carried this movie on his shoulders.
Yeah, I've talked about this in my personal life, but like that scene in the apartment where he's up against the wall and Tom Holland is up on his shoulders and is decking him, and Willem Dafoe is just laughing maniacally. I was like, holy hell!
It sent chills. His acting, the way he brought it back, because even in the where we first saw him in Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, he didn't seem this insane. And this one, it toned it up a notch, and it felt like how Green Goblin was supposed to be. Because like how it's for me at least, for how Batman is to Joker, for me it's like Spider-Man is to Green Goblin.
Yeah, I
not
think
in
it
the
was
sense that they like meet each other, but in the sense that they're literally like the ultimate rivals.
I think what helped in this case, and it was a really good call on the behalf of the costume design, is they just got rid of the mask. I think that really helps with the because you can't really see any expression through that goblin mask.
Yes, I can agree with that. Yes,
but yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I think there are maybe some pacing issues in the first half. I think Lizard and Sandman are underused.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, I mean the back half of this movie is pretty damn good. I think there are a few places where there's kind of fan service just for fan service, like where Doc Ock keeps going like the power of the sun in the palm of my hand. I'm like, I get it. Yep, you're saying the thing you said in the other movie.
Yeah. He said that like 3 times.
Yeah. Total, even though with great power comes great responsibility, I was a little bit rolling my eyes. I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm feeling that. But
this for me, it felt a bit better in this one, especially since it was the first time we heard it was the first time we heard it for this Spider-Man, and then afterwards it was repeated only because of the other Spider-Man.
Yes, I think that part worked. The whole like just randomly hearing that in the apartment scene, I was like,
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. It is also like when the three of them were on the rooftop and Tom Holland was like, how did you know that? And then Andrew Garfield was like, Uncle Ben said it, and I was like, not your version. That is not what he said. But yeah, I mean, speaking of Andrew Garfield, though, he stole the show for me. I think
it's kind of crazy how much I saw like after the movie came out was how everybody loved Andrew Garfield, and they were like, we kind of feel bad for shitting on his original movies, and I'm like, I never hated his original movies. I mean, I still think they're okay. They're good movies. They're not.
I actually think 2 is better than 1, but 2 is a shit show. I think they're both bad.
I think the first one's definitely better than the second one, but they're not good by any means. It's just I don't think it was his fault. He just got a bad story, and if he got a better story, I think his Spider-Man would have been out of the park. He did an amazing job. Yeah. An amazing job in this movie.
He's a great actor. I will actually say, though, I still think he was miscast in his own movies purely because he was just too cool to be a high school student. Like, he's too cool to be Peter Parker in high school. I'm totally fine with him once you're out of high school, nobody's really cool or uncool. You know, you're just all people. But like, I think he was just too cool, and his hair was too like Hollywood for him to be Peter Parker in high school.
Gotcha.
But yeah, he's great. He had all the funniest lines, including I think I know he improvised the "I love you guys" line, which feels like a very much Andrew Garfield thing to do.
That is a very much Andrew Garfield thing to do.
Yeah, he was really fun, and all of his reactions were. Yeah, he's just great. I don't know if I want to see an Amazing Spider-Man 3 because I don't
want to ruin what I've gotten from him.
Yeah, actually the Amazing Spider-Man 3 was trending on Twitter for a little while.
Yes, I knew that. I know for the Amazing Spider-Man 3 they were going to do like a Sinister Six type thing for his movie. I knew that.
There's a rumor that he might show up in the Morbius end credits, setting up I think that's highly unlikely. But
that's gonna be like the Morbius Spider-Man,
like the post credits. Yeah, I don't know. But I as much as I loved seeing them all three interact, and as much as I'd love to see more, I'm also like, is there anything else to do with these characters now? You know, I don't know.
So I feel like they could bring them back, but only specifically for a Spider-Verse movie.
Yeah, or like maybe I've heard rumors that they maybe will bring them back for like Secret Wars or something in the future.
Yeah,
which I think would work.
Something like that. Yeah, something like that. But I don't think they should do like his own. Yeah. Bring back his movie anymore. No.
Obviously, I was very happy to see Matt. Daredevil is my favorite show of all time, and also my favorite comic book character of all time. You still haven't seen season 3. You really need to fucking watch.
I've got it on my list right now.
Okay.
Ever since that I've noticed that he's in there, and I've got it on my list. I've made a list like you did, so I can actually organize my freaking shows because I've just been jumping everywhere and it was annoying me. So I actually wrote it down. So I'm going through that list right now. Slowly but surely, obviously, because I'm in the middle of obviously Peacemaker, Boba Fett, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm moving through it.
Also, there are 2 moments I want to highlight as the best. Oh, we forgot our honorable mentions. Do you just want to list those out really quickly?
Okay, yeah, mine was the King's Man. That was my honorable mention.
Mine was Godzilla versus Kong.
Okay, I had that one as my second one, but then I got rid of it because I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only reason I chose Shang-Chi over that was because of a random number generator. I kind of wanted to put Godzilla versus Kong, but whatever.
yeah. That's the same for me in the Ghostbusters Afterlife. It was just either Kingsman or Ghostbusters, and I just it was random number generator Ghostbusters 1. So, but yeah.
But yeah, the 2 scenes I want to highlight in this movie, in Spider-Man No Way Home, that were, I think, the best were the scene where they all run and then they do the swing together.
Yes.
And then also Andrew Garfield saving Zendaya.
Okay.
Which everybody kind of knew was going to happen, but it was a really good redemption moment, and I was still very excited to see it.
It was amazing to watch. First of all, because he was just the way his face was after he caught her and everything too, and he made sure she was okay. It really was a huge impact. I will add one scene was the apartment scene between where Tom Holland first officially fights Green Goblin. That scene was incredible. Just the way you see Tom Holland.
It's very brutal.
Exactly. The way you see Tom Holland Spider-Man finally for the first time stop pulling his punches was incredible. Because you've never seen him go so hard before.
Yeah, it felt very Spider-Man 1 where they're just slamming each other into brick walls and like going through floors.
Exactly. You've just never seen that from this Spider-Man before. He's always held back, and it was incredible to see him finally let go and just absolutely brutalize on a person and them literally not feel any of it.
Yeah, good stuff.
It's incredible.
I will say I'm a little bit concerned about the whole memory wipe situation at the end, because I'm like, well, now does that mean we have to redevelop his relationship with all the characters? Because I don't really like it when memory wipes are. I don't really like memory loss as a plot point. I think it's just kind of lazy.
I think this can set up new characters. I'm hoping they either bring in like him, still try and like get with MJ, but not try and get her to remember, but try and restart with her, but also bring in other characters, maybe his Gwen Stacy and maybe even a Felicia Hardy.
I mean, we'll probably get Black Cat at some point, but I don't know. I don't know if that'll be in the MCU or if that'll just be in the Sony stuff, because I don't think.
I kind of want to see an MCU Black Cat though. Like I don't know. Yeah. I feel like that could work.
I don't know. At the very least, though, I think the scene itself was very well done, and I hope those characters stay around because I do like them a lot.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, you got anything else? I think we should probably move on here because we have another whole video to record.
We have like 3 whole videos to record.
Well, it's gonna be all in the same video though.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I'm good.
All right. Thanks everybody for watching. Do all the YouTube stuff. You know what I'm talking about. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Give us your list if you want to. Thanks for watching again. We'll see you next time. Okay.